dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. Different, different, different. Dry, dry, dry. Fast, fast, fast. Hard, hard, hard. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Light, light, light. Messy, messy, messy. Neat, neat, neat. Noisy, noisy, noisy. Safe, safe, safe. Soft, soft, soft. The same, the same, the same. Friendly, friendly, friendly. Healthy, healthy, healthy. Ill, ill, ill. Poor, poor, poor. Rich, rich, rich. Unfriendly, unfriendly, unfriendly.
Two nice old men sat on a bench in the middle of the park. One nice old man was called Tom. The other nice old man was called George. The two nice old men were old friends.
Good morning, George. How are you?
Good morning, Tom. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
The two nice old men sat down and watched the world go by. They watched the noisy children playing on the swing and the rich business people going to their offices and the plastic bags blowing in the wind. Sometimes it rained. When it rained, the two nice old men opened their umbrellas.
It's not very dry today, George.
No, Tom. It's not very dry today.
The rain is hard and heavy again. It's going to rain all day.
Sometimes there was no rain, but there was a lot of fog.
It's very cold and foggy today, George.
Yes, Tom. It's very cold and foggy today.
The same weather as yesterday.
Sometimes there was no rain and no cold and no fog. Sometimes it was warm.
Lovely day today, George.
Lovely day, Tom.
Tom always wore a silver hat and a spotted jacket. George always wore a soft gold scarf and a striped coat. Tom was smart and funny. George was friendly and kind. The two old men were not ill, but they often felt very tired and very weak. When you're old, you sometimes feel very tired and very weak. The two nice old men often needed to rest for a long time. They enjoyed having their rests on the bench in the middle of the park.
I need to sit down, George. My back is aching this morning.
I need to sit down, Tom. My legs are aching this morning.
Sometimes Tom's back was okay, and George's legs were okay, too. Sometimes there was no rain and no fog. Sometimes it wasn't cold and it wasn't warm. Sometimes there was only the past.
Do you remember when, George?
Do you remember when, Tom?
And then the two nice old men talked about their lives. They talked about expensive hotels and dangerous cities. They talked about fast cars, interesting places, and important people. They talked about beautiful deserts and great rivers, big jungles, and famous lakes.
We saw the world, George.
We saw the world, Tom.
Did we really do all that, George?
I don't know, Tom. We were young.
We're old now, George.
I'm not really sure what we did, Tom.
I can't remember everything, George.
When the two nice old men got up, very slowly, at the end of the afternoon, they sighed. When you're old, it's sometimes difficult to get up after sitting for a long time. And the two nice old men walked to the far corner of the park.
Good evening, George.
Good evening, Tom.
And the bench stayed empty until the next morning.